Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. Czech President Petr Pavel has inspired massive demonstrations across the country in his support after he refused to appoint a Eurosceptic minister linked to Nazi symbolism. The crisis steepened when Foreign Minister Petr Pavel reportedly sent threatening messages to the president, raising serious questions about the stability of Prague's coalition government. Now, to discuss the latest developments and their political implications, we're now joined by Tomáš Zdechovský, Czech MEP from the European People's Party. Good to have you on TVP World.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
So looking at all these different factors right now, we have the president in a way under siege by certain parts of the government in Prague. Give us a really quick recap. How did we get here and what is at stake in all this?
You saw on Sunday that there was in the streets more than 100,000 people. There was in Prague and in other cities was freezing, but people protest against current government. In current government is many former communists, are two former agents of STB. This is the communist intelligence used against the opposition. Also, this government is really not very strong in the decision what they want to do. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Petr Pavel, sent threats to the advisor of our president, and president reacted very openly. He said, and he shows the threats to the journalists before his vacation, and it started a protest. And many people in the Czech Republic see that they don't want to follow the way how is managed state in Slovakia or in Hungary, but we would like to be in the between the country like Poland, Czech Republic, Germany and others, what are following the democratic rules and what are really supporting freedom, Ukraine and anti-Russian narrative, what are presenting by this current government.
Mm-hmm. And at the core of this, as we mentioned just a moment ago, is this nomination, this failed nomination by Mr. Filip Turek, who was blocked, I believe, 2 times for different ministries. Given the carried, let's say, baggage that he has, is there a case, any case that the coalition has, that this motorist has to say, well, look, give him another shot? And where does this crisis lead next? As you said, hundreds of thousands of people on the streets.
It's very difficult to describe his role because he was in European Parliament, member of European Parliament. He presents himself as a big king and as a hero, as someone who is really presented like alpha. And in the reality, it's the fake picture of him. Also, the people found a lot of scandals and lot of his presentation, what was Nazis or neo-Nazis. He used many times the word Heil Hitler. He was using the swastika. He had it on his helm. Also, the presentation of neo-Nazis party Zlatý úsvit, what we know from the Greece, and he had it a lot of controversial history. Also, this is why President decided that these people cannot be Minister of Foreign Affairs and cannot be Minister of some things. Also, it's absolutely clear, and many times in the past, in the history, we saw the same cases with criminal background or with other problems what they had it, and the president decided not nominate him to the, or not carried him to the government. He was nominated and president said no, and it's the right of the president. And if Filip Turek is not satisfied with this position, or his party, Motorista party, is not satisfied, they can bring the president to the charge, and they don't want it to do. They are now really working like group of small children which are really fighting against president. But president of our country, Petr Pavel, is most popular politician in the country. Also, this fight shows that they cannot never win.
All right, and speaking of pushing ahead, we're looking also at a no confidence vote in the coalition government. That's supposed to be happening anywhere late on Wednesday, perhaps also on Thursday. We're not quite sure when. But this comes just 19 days after a confidence vote already in the government. So Babiš has come in. The Prime Minister said that this is not going to, they don't have the votes. So how do you see this play out, and what kind of impact will that have on all this?
This situation gave the opposition parties opportunity to start criticize the government, and we are preparing the Czech Republic for the election to the third of the Senate and to the local governments. Also, I think this is the part of the election campaign of opposition, and opposition used this situation very well to start criticize the current government. Andrej Babiš has a conflict of interest, huge conflict. He is billionaire. He is also now prime minister, and he started to send money from European Union and from the Czech Republic directly to his company. He changed a lot of founding. Also, it's quite important from the beginning. Shows to the people that the current opposition will be not weak, and they will start to criticize Babiš, SPD, and Motoristy from the beginning. And you every time start from weakness part of the coalition, and the weakness part is now the Motoristé sobě, what were presenting themselves as the winner of the game, as the heroes, and you can see that they are not very good negotiator, and they are absolutely not the diplomats as well.
Okay, you mentioned Prime Minister Babiš himself, a billionaire, someone who's been, as we've covered him over the last months, someone seen as transactional and a businessman at his heart, someone who has to go through all these different parties. I want to talk about business for a second. Now, one thing that's also come out of the last few days is the Czech Defense Group's valuation, this huge IPO, I believe market cap looking at something like 33 billion euros, bigger than Orlen in Poland, actually with the biggest IPO for the whole CEE region. That's very much about armaments. A lot of that revenue comes from Ukraine weapons demand. This, though, still having that in the mix here, first of all, what does that say about the Czech armaments industry? And two, will this have any bearing on what politicians do, what Babiš will decide to do in this whole heated situation?
Babiš and his party are something promising their voters, and after the election they are totally changing 180 degree. Also, they are not doing this what they promised. He said, I will stop this ammunition help to the Ukraine. He didn't do nothing. So he is every time making the political theater, especially for his pro-Russian voters. The same, the second party, SPD. SPD said we would like to stop it immediately, but they have it, the Minister of Defense, but they don't want it to do, because they know if they will stop it, it will be huge impact to the Czech economy, and really they will lose the election if they will do it. For us in this moment, it's quite important to really continue with the support of Ukraine army, because half of ammunitions comes through this initiative. And it's not about production of grenade. It's about many complex issues, what we are doing together. We are collecting all ammunition from the world, and the ammunition is renovated and then is sent to Ukraine to really stop the Russian army. And it's very important. Nobody knows, nobody has this know-how, and Babiš knows it. But he plays it before the election, because the people in the Czech Republic trust him, that he will be the hero who will take care about the people in pension, and he will be the prime minister of the peace, how presented himself.
All right, just really briefly at the end, really fast. Also, just to note that also Czechs have been helping, raising money for generators and helping Ukrainians. But I want to ask really quickly, in 3 months, maybe 6 months, if that long, how will this crisis now play out? Will we see early elections? Will there be some kind of truce? Will there be judicial intervention? Will they survive? Your quick sentence, how will this look like in Prague in a few months' time?
I'm not sure, but from my perspective, if they will lose the two party from the Babiš coalition, the next election, I think it will be very difficult to survive next 3 years or so. I think next election shows if Andrej Babiš will continue with this government, or he will ask for new election, or something other will change it in the Czech political spectrum.
All right, so a tense cohabitation there in Prague. Indeed. Look, thanks for all the information. Always a pleasure having you here on TVP World. That was Tomáš Zdechovský there, Czech MEP from the European People's Party. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
And thank you for watching. It concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.